Hello, Karen here. Just kidding. Welcome to my channel. I'm Madison. I am going to do videos on makeup and true crime. So I posted on my Instagram at the beginning of this week and said that I was going to do half and half videos, where half of the video focused on makeup related things and then the other half focused on true crime, because I liked them both, and then I'm like, which one do I do? Which one do people like? And then I realized I don't care because I like them both. So, damn, we're just gonna do both. Okay. So, I didn't really know what to do for the first one because looking up true crime information is a lot. There's so much that goes into each case, especially if it's unsolved or is still ongoing. So what I thought I would do today is talk about my favorite products of all time, like my makeup stuff that I use like literally every... What is this hair? My God, I haven't washed it in 5 days. Makeup products that I literally use every single time I get ready. Okay, please ignore the hair. Please ignore everything. Okay, don't ignore me. Just my whole self. Okay, so I was going to throw skincare products in here too, but then I thought that would be too long. So I only threw one thing in here, and I'm going to start with it, and then we'll go to the true crime part. So just keep watching. Just keep watching. Like I'm really into YouTube videos. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is something that I literally would die if I didn't have. Not really, but if somebody said pick one thing in the entire world that you could only use, like it's the only thing you could ever use again, what would you pick? And it would be this right here. I don't know if you can see that. This is a little tub. This is Cetaphil or Cetaphil. I'm not sure. People pronounce it different, but literally this is the only moisturizer in the entire world. Like there's probably high-end ones that I haven't even tried that still would not top this. I have pretty much crocodile skin all year round. In the summer, it's not as bad when the humidity's up, but anything with scents dries my skin out worse. Anything that isn't thick enough doesn't do the job. Like it doesn't give me enough moisture. It just makes my skin feel tight. Like it doesn't work. But this I have used for years and years and years and years and years, and I will never stop using it because it is the only thing that works for me. I don't know if there's any in there. It's pretty thick. Now this is the cream. This is not the lotion. The lotion does not work for me. It's not thick enough. But I love this because it's super thick. It does take a minute to soak in. Like I put it all over me, literally head to toe. But it does work wonders. Like my skin is not dry when I use this, and I literally, if I did not use this, I would have flakes of skin everywhere. Like, literally look like... Well, I don't know. Use your imagination. You know, crocodile, frosted flakes. I don't know, but it would not be good. Okay? So, number one, literally could not live without. Will always use it. For primer, there's kind of two, but the one I use in a weird way. Well, not weird, but different. So I've been using the Poreless Putty Primer for a long time now, since probably it came out. And even though I do have dry skin, this does not make me cake up. It doesn't make makeup cling to my dry patches. It really kind of smooths everything out, which most things just make everything cling to whatever's dry on my face, because my whole face is dry. Really, around my nose, right here, I get some dryness here if I don't use eye cream, but this does not do that. My makeup stays all day. It really looks like you just painted it on. I really love it. And this, if you don't want to spend a bunch of money, I think this is like $8, but it's a dupe for the Tatcha Putty Primer. Is that what it's called? I don't know, Tatcha something. It looks like this. and you literally like open it up and put, you know, whatever. Or you could use a sponge, but I use my hands. Now this one, this is the NYX Hydra Touch Oil Primer, and you just open it and push the top down, and then it comes out and drops. But I don't really, I use this as a primer sometimes under my makeup, but what I like to do is I use Jaclyn Hill's tip, and I'll put 2 drops of this on the back of my hand and take my wet sponge and dip it in there, and then I'll put it like right here and pretty much all over my face because I am dry, so it makes me look more refreshed and not like I'm dying of thirst and like my skin has no moisture in it. So love those top 2. I don't really use any other primer, so everything I'm showing you right now is pretty much what I've used for a really long time. This, however, that's not true for this. So this is the Healthy Foundation Brightening Complex by Physicians Formula. I just came across this. This has a doe foot applicator, super convenient. I heard a lot about this for a long time. Whenever I watched Kathleen Lights on YouTube, she used this a lot, and usually stuff she recommends I love, especially drugstore stuff. I did pick this up at Target. It was on sale, so I don't know if it's all Targets, but the Target near my house, like a ton of their makeup went on sale, so I went and bought a bunch of stuff, and I love this. This isn't too drying, it's not too dewy, it's like the perfect combination, so it does look like skin. Like that's what I have on today. Not that my camera is great, not that, you know, whatever, but that's what I have on. Love it. You should go buy it, especially if you want a drugstore foundation that, you know, doesn't cost a lot, which not that drugstore foundations do, but I mean this was like $8. Let's see here, face powder. So I've used this for a long time too. This is just, I use this under my eye and then for baking. This is the Fenty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Setting Powder in Lavender. It's super finely milled, smells really good. It almost feels wet. And it doesn't cake up under here. It never looks like you have powder on your face. Like it just really, and it brings brightness, really, really bright under here and wherever you use it. But you can use this all over your face and it doesn't wash you out or anything, and it doesn't, I'm not sure about the flashback, but it doesn't wash me out, and I love it. And I have used it all over my face, but for the most part I just use it under my eyes, my chin, the sides of my nose, and then I go in with my regular face powder, which I have been using. Oh, look, I got the sticker on here. How classy. The Physicians Formula Mineral Wear Loose Powder. Because this is like a skin nude color that I like to put over my foundation because I like a little more coverage. If you didn't, you could use this because it's not going to give you a lot of coverage. It's just kind of going to give you the powder effect, set everything down, and brighten everything up. Whereas like this will give you a little more coverage. I do like this because it's not chalky. It's not chunky. It's not real dry. It's kind of finely milled too. Let's see. And it's the Mineral Wear, so I like anything like Bare Minerals. Anything mineral infused I'm into, because like I said, my skin's crazy. Most things don't work for me, so I do love this. Okay, now I screwed myself up. Cream products, I should have done before that, but whatever. Obviously short. That's not even funny, but my nephews would think it was funny. Shape Tape Tarte Concealer. Everybody loves, staple. Everybody's got to have it. I'm not going to say much about it. When I use cream contour, I use the NYX Wonder Stick in this shade Universal, and it literally just rolls up like this. I never use the highlight side, like literally untouched. And I don't really like that side. I feel like it just puts glitter on your face. This I use all the time. Because it's universal, it works for if you're a lighter skin tone, it will work for you. They have different shades, but I love this because you can just, you know, throw it on real fast and it blends out super easy. Let's see, let's do highlight because we want to beam like the moon. My stuff's dirty. I don't clean it. Dirty. Okay, so this is the Jaclyn Cosmetics Brighten Up Luminous Powder. Love. 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 Okay. You can use this all over your face as a highlight. Put it as an inner corner highlight. Use it as an eyeshadow. I don't know, but I love it. Literally, you can use it anywhere in a multitude of ways, and most highlights you cannot do that with. Like the next one I'm going to talk about, you cannot put it all over your face unless you want to look like a disco ball. So this one's really unique. I love it. This is the only shade I have, but you can make it brighter. Like if you want to do a really bright highlight, cheek highlight, you can definitely build that up or put it all over your face as a setting powder, and it just gives you like a luminous glow. They have several, I don't know how many of these she did, but they did several of these. And then she did a whole collection. I'm sure you guys saw it. So definitely look into this if you have dry skin or just want to look more luminous in general. Now this one you cannot put all over your face. This is the Becca Cosmetics highlight in the shade Opal. Love. Now I like Champagne Pop too, so, but this one's really a lot lighter, and this has more of like a whitish undertone to it, but this is bright, but I like it because of that. So I usually put the Jaclyn Cosmetics one on first, like all over my cheek, and then I go in with this one to make it brighter and kind of stick out more. All Becca Cosmetics highlights are good. Most of their stuff I like. I have Champagne Pop. I have this. And they have darker colors for darker complexions, or, you know, however you want to mix that up. So, definitely my two favorites that I use all the time. I mix them together. I use them on their own. You just really can't go wrong. Powder contour, let's see. This is literally the only thing I use. When I use bronzer, I use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I don't switch it up very much with that because of my skin tone. It's hard to find stuff that's not orange or has like a gray undertone that's like heinous. So I use this. Typically, I go in with this middle shade if I'm really, really fair. But I've been using this darker shade, and I love it because it gives me more of like the chiseled out look. Now I will use this one and this shade to put under my eyes sometimes if I feel like they're not bright enough or got a little bit muddy. I've had this for a really long time. It holds up. So if you need a contour kit, Anastasia Beverly Hills powder contour kit's the way to go, for sure. Okay, let's see. Eyebrows. Everyone's going to say, Anastasia Brow Wiz. Wrong. You're wrong. This is the NYX Professional Makeup Micro Brow Pencil, and I think it's a dupe for the Brow Wiz. Some people disagree. I think the Brow Wiz is a little bit waxier, and I don't like that. My eyebrows always look funky. They never match. So if you're looking at me and you're like, this eyebrow's darker and this eyebrow's shaped different, well, that's because I'm human, okay? And, you know, you wax a little bit off here and trim a little bit here, and they don't match, okay? It's fine. Draw it on. Take them off. But I love this. It's literally the same thing. It's got the spoolie on the one end, and then the really fine pencil on the other end, and I just like it better. It's cheaper. It's a dupe if you don't want to pay for Anastasia. Now, a lot of people like their brow definer. I don't like that either. I think those are too fat to, you know, do anything with. I don't like those in any brand that's not just them. And I did use powder for a while, but it was just becoming too difficult. Like this, you just whip it on, and it takes like 2 seconds. For the eyebrow gel, I love the ColourPop Brow Boss Gel. Literally haven't used anything probably different in over a year and a half. This just makes them stick, but it doesn't make them crunchy. And I did use the Anastasia one for a long time, but it made them like hard as a brick. Like I would go like this and they just would crunch. It's like you're eating chips. I eat chips when I'm making faces. So I like this one. The brush is really, really tiny, but I like that because you can really get in there and get every single brow hair. So, and this is really, really inexpensive. Love ColourPop in general. So definitely check that out. Let's see, for mascara, I hate pretty much every mascara that I try because my lashes just stick out like this. They don't go anywhere. They don't curl up. They don't, you know, they don't do anything. So even when I curl them. So, like today, what is this? I mean, they do okay, but not my fave. But, excuse me. I like the Wet n Wild Mega Length Mascara. It comes in this purple tube. And it has one of like the spiky ones. Like so. I don't like the ones that are like fat brushes. Hate it. Okay, so that's what I use in my top lashes. Bottom lashes, absolutely 100% never using anything other than MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash. Get you one. Get you two. Get you 10 because you're going to love it. It's literally the skinniest brush because, you know, you put mascara down here and you get it all over your face. It's like so skinny. It does wonders. You can get every single lash. And it's black as black as black. So, this is a little more expensive. It's like 18 bucks, I think, for this little tube. But it's definitely worth the money to me. I'd pay $100 because I love it that much. Now, lipstick, Yins are gonna shit on me. It's gonna shit on my life because I love Jaclyn Hill. And I just can't help it. I don't even care. I have no shame. This is one of her nude lipsticks that came out and flopped. This is the shade Obsessed. Mine personally did not have any defects in them. I didn't have any little hairs or whatever fibers. I didn't have any holes. Mine went on fine. Even if they would have, I mean, I know people's were like balling up and doing weird things and didn't work, you know, weren't going on smooth, but mine did fine. And I love this color. It's like the prettiest, like, nude for sure. And it just works for me with, you know, whatever eye look I do, whatever outfit I have on, it just always works. And I love the packaging. 100% would buy these again if she redid them and came out with new ones. I would hope that she would keep the same shades because to die. Now this little ditty is, can you tell I'm from West Virginia? A little ditty. P. Diddy. This is new. I haven't used it a whole bunch, but I like it. This is didn't know that had powder in it. This is the Tati Beauty Blendiful. And it's just made, you can wash it in the washer, you can fold it, use it all different angles, use the other side, you can use it to do your contour, literally anything. And most sponges ruin after a while. This one you can put in the washer and reuse it a bajillion times. So I've only used this a couple times, but so far so good. It's really, really soft. If you can see kind of like the fibers there. It goes on really smooth. Tati has a video on how to use this. There's also a smaller one, but it's in my purse because I use it to touch up. So I don't have it in front of me right now. But this is pretty good. I mean, I can't drag stuff usually on my face because it just pulls, you know, my dry skin. This doesn't do that, and I don't know if it's because of the fabric that it's made out of or what, but I love it. And you know, you get two for $18. I think it's this one and then the smaller one. And I mean, a regular beauty blender is 20 bucks, and they ruin after, you know, you wash them so many times. So definitely check that out. I think you can get it on tatibeauty.com, I do believe. So If you're looking for something new to use on your face, use this. Okay, last product we're going to talk about. Last one. Then we're going to move on. This is actually a perfume. My mom hates it and thinks I stink, but this is Crystal Gardenia, the KKW perfume or beauty, or I don't know what it is. Literally love. Could sit and smell this all day, and I'm obsessed with it. I mean, I'm halfway through the jar, or I don't know, what do you call it, something that a perfume's in? A perfume bottle. But it's really cute packaging, really sturdy, and I love the smell. It's like it's not real florally, but it's not too spicy. I don't know. I love it, and I would order it again. So I'll do skincare at some point. You know, if you want to see how I take care of my horrible skin, I will show you. But, okay. So moving on, we're going to switch the page, turn the page, and we're going to do true crime. Now, today I technically don't have a case to discuss. I'm going to tell you, my favorite podcast, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about a case that is kind of got some drama around it right now, kind of. People are talking about it. So, number one podcast that I love, Crime Junkie. Can't get enough of it. They do have a fan club, different tiers if, you don't want to wait once a week to hear an episode. Get on there. They cover all different kinds of cases, and they also do a lot of work trying to raise money for victims and their families and missing individuals. So definitely check that out. Which I think that's part of the problem with true crime and things that go on, because they don't focus on the victim. So much time is focused on the person, the murderer or the kidnapper or whoever did the crime, and the victim just does not get justice and does not get enough attention when they're the ones that have suffered. So definitely Crime Junkie is one of the ones that focuses on the victim and their families and what they've gone through. So definitely my favorite. There's one by Nancy Grace. I can't exactly remember which one that is, but she talks about cases. I love Nancy Grace. Missing Alyssa's good. I know there have been a lot of petitions recently going around for Alyssa Turney to get her dad convicted, because many people believe he is the one that murdered her or did something with her. So that podcast is definitely, that focuses just on her case, so check that out. Now this one I would have recommended, and you may still want to listen to it just to get the background story, but this is the one that has a lot of drama around it, and that is Mile Marker 181. That, I'm from West Virginia, that's a local case. That is a Parkersburg case about Jalea Davis. There's a page on Facebook, it's called Justice for Jalea. You can look it up. It's run by her mom, Kim Davis, and she has pictures and a lot of stuff on there that, you can go through. But right now, there's a lot of drama surrounding it, because Mile Marker 181, who was done by Emily Nestor, originally, from the way I perceived it, was because her death was ruled an accident. It was, she was near Mile Marker 181, I want to say on I-77, and the circumstances surrounding it were very strange. It didn't add up, but they ruled it an accident. So the purpose of this podcast that Emily Nestor did, was to prove that it wasn't an accident, that the friends she was with had a part in her death. And so, she does a good job covering all the information and, pointing out the flaws in what the authorities say happened. But recently, I think there were like 2 seasons out, and then all of a sudden she stopped posting, and which was kind of odd, because the case was closed, it was ruled an accident, but where'd you go? Well, come to find out, if you look on the Justice for Jalea page, there's a huge explanation her mom posted. But Emily has now retracted what she said, as in what she thinks happened. So now she's saying she believes it was an accident. Now, everyone can form their own opinion. Everyone is going to think different. You know, some people do think it was an accident. The authorities obviously do. You know, so they claim. But I feel like either you read the information and you know, believe it was an accident, or you believe it was a murder. And I don't think, you know, all of a sudden you can turn around after you've gone through an entire podcast and gone through all these hoops to get all this information and just change your mind and say, oh, it was an accident, you know, whatever. And if that's the case, go about it in a way where, you know, the podcast, you know, should have ended, you know, somewhere. And she and the mom no longer are working together, which is understandable. Like I said, the explanation from the mom's point of view is on the Justice for Jalea page. Emily Nestor just posted a podcast update on mile marker 181. I don't want to say I don't want to give my opinion. I personally think that it was not an accident. I think it was a murder somehow. You know, you can listen to the podcast, you can look up the information, look on the page, but the fact of the matter is, I don't know how you get hit with your own car. You flew out the passenger side window, but your clothes are folded on the guardrail. That doesn't make any sense. And your car was found a third of a mile past where your body was. That doesn't make sense to me. Now, I'm not a cop. I'm not any, you know, a forensic whatever. So I can't say for sure, you know, and, you know, I wasn't there. So for people that weren't there and don't know every single detail, you know, it's hard for you to say, oh, well, it wasn't this or it wasn't that. But I think something went on behind the scenes that Emily Nestor changed her opinion. And I feel like you're doing the mom, you're doing the family, and most importantly, you're doing Jalea injustice by, you know, advocating for her for so long and then turning around and saying, well, it was an accident. So, I mean, to me, the podcast was pointless then if, you know, you'd think it was an accident, because the point of the podcast was to prove, you know, holes in the kids' stories, that, you know, they couldn't have gotten to the McDonald's in the time that they said they did, and, you know, everything like that, everything surrounding the case. So, you know, I just think that's odd that she would change her mind, but yet is involved in the documentary that's supposed to come out about Jalea. So I would say, form your own opinion, go look up the information. We can definitely talk about that again. The one case I do want to talk about is also local. It was from 1981, and it revolves around C.R. Diaz. Now, he was a 7-year-old boy that went missing and then was eventually found murdered not too far from his home in Northview, in the Clarksburg area in West Virginia. So I reached out to somebody to see that knew the Diaz family, grew up around the same area, to see if they could give me any information from that day or what they remember. So I'm waiting to hear back, and hopefully we will. Let me know what you guys want to see next, and we will go from there. See you next time.